technical problem number 1. All right, and of course we're barking today, so who knows. Anyway, I don't know if you saw this. Oh yes, I was getting my yarn. So I wound up the yarn. There's so much yarn on here. This is the size of the yarn ball after I have been knitting. So I am just now getting to the point. You start with a tab up here. There's a center spine. And you keep going from there. So this is the Fat Wool Company Heavy Worsted in the gray. And I'm just getting to the point where I'm starting to, I've just made my first row of yarn overs. And there are a number of yarn over holes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just starting those. But of course with this bulky yarn, and the pattern does call for bulky. Let me just see here. She uses Nature's Luxury Alpaca Bliss, which is 109 yards per 100 grams. And a 6.5 millimeter circular needle. And so we're going with it with the Fat Wool yarn. It's so soft. It's just a joy to work with. And the only thing is that for this product, maybe a larger needle size would have been better for this yarn, but I stuck with the pattern, what they recommended, so I'm wondering if it will be a little, I don't know if stiff is the right word, just thicker. But then I'm wondering after washing and blocking that will relax everything and get the fluidity back. When I look at my computer screen, there's some blur to my movements, so I don't know if that's how it's recording or if it's just the feed to my desktop computer. So if this is how it records, I'm sorry. We're just going to have to go with it. Okay. Looks like we're live. Hello. Welcome. Hello, welcome back, or welcome to, if you're a first-time viewer, Freshwater Fibers Podcast, Knitting and Sewing Podcast. My name is Charlotte, and I am coming to you from frigid northern Lower Michigan on the shores of Lake Charlevoix, which is over near Lake Michigan in northern Lower Michigan. Yesterday it was minus 16 degrees Fahrenheit. It is slightly warmer today. The last time I checked it was 6. So there you are. Winter is upon us. So yeah, I am bundled up. If you aren't aware, I have 2 yarn businesses. This one is the Fat Wool Company. I source my wool from Michigan family farmers, and the yarn is core spun, which means this is a single ply core spun yarn, and it is custom made for me at a fiber mill right here in East Jordan up in northern Lower Michigan. And then I knit all the good things. This hat is incredibly warm. This one is listed on my store. This shrug is listed on my store. They are going to be too hot in about 4 more minutes to wear inside. Excuse me. But I just had to show it off, and it was appropriate given the deep freeze that most of us in the northern states seem to be going through. So there you are. Today I have yarn and knitting to talk about. Oh yes, I have one finished object. It's there behind the camera. But once again, I have my Canon camera going. I've got, if I look over this way, it's my live feed onto the computer screen, so I can make sure that I'm still recording, since that has been a ginormous issue in the past where I blather on for 45 minutes and then realize I wasn't recording. Then you do it again. So, and it gets harder. I have some sewing to show you, some works in progress, a little bit of crochet, a problem with crochet, and a possible quilt project. And so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to take this off now. These are great. This is what I call a shrug. This one, as you can see, is two-tone. Oh, wrong way. There we go. They just slide right over your shoulders. When it's really cold, I wear this over, oh, I had the shoulder seam going the wrong way, so here you go. When it's really cold, I will wear this over another jacket. But I just love these. These are my design with my yarn. And then the hats is a brand new project for me. I had lots of requests for them at art fairs that I go to with my Fat Wool booth. And so I just kind of started knitting and trying and trial and error. So they are an attention getter. I will, all of my work is an attention getter. So my kids call it a mushroom hat. Of course, I wear a dark brown one that I have kept. This one is not as mushroomy, but the one I wear can be. But, you know, if you're looking to wear something super warm and you don't mind the attention, well then own the mushroom. And that didn't really sound very good, did it? Own what you wear and go for it. If you're an artist or a maker, that's why you make things. Well, you might just make them to give away, of course, but I love to wear what I make, and I love to make one-of-a-kind things that no one else has, and I love to wear them when I go. So there we are, Fat Wool. So, and last podcast I was going to do a fashion show before my show in Chicago, and it didn't work out. I was just ran out of time and trying to get ready for the show in Chicago. And I'd like to thank everybody that came out and said hello and visited the booth and looked at my things and tried them on. And I'm very thankful for those of you that made a purchase and for your support. Just if you don't know, well, I already said my wool comes from Michigan farmers, so the more I sell, the more I get to buy wool from Michigan farmers and support families. So thank you very much. But anyway, so I ran out of time. I was spending the morning sewing and the afternoon knitting, which left really not any time or mental interest in trying to get a podcast out, so I did not do that. But here's a little mini show of what you can find. So let's see, I'm trying to put this on the floor where all the dog hair is. Okay, so let's stick on Fat Wool, I guess. I have mentioned before that, well, let's do one more thing. I have a new product in my on my website, and you may have seen these. I first learned about them on the Espace Tricot podcast, Jewel Designs, and they make these closures. So let me just show you their tag. So it's Jewel Designs. Okay. And actually, I don't know if I have these on my website, but I will be posting these, listing these after I'm done podcasting. So what they are these fabulous leather closures, and they are made in the United States. And this is one particular style. So that's how this one looks. Get it in there. These are just the coolest things ever. So this center latch opens up, and so that's how it closes. And on the back side, this is just absolutely amazing, especially for my work where, and I have a cape that has one on so you can see, where maybe you want to wear one. These are removables, what I'm getting at. So you can either wear one of my capes or any shawl that you make, any product that you make. You can attach these, and for instance, you want your cape or shawl close up on the neck. So you can put it up close on the neck. Let's say you prefer that it drapes, or maybe it's a long cardigan and you just want a closure here. Anything, a cowl. If you had a super chunky cowl around the neck, and you didn't want the kind like I make that goes right over the head and sits around your neck all the time, you could just make a short 2-foot long scarf and then just use this to close it. So on the back side, these unscrew. Probably could have gotten it started beforehand. And they have these washers on the back side. And you separate. So here's the washer. And here's the screw. And this piece here. So you put this piece through the yarn. So obviously pull the yarn apart and go through the stitch. You don't want to pierce the yarn itself. But it's designed to go through in between the stitches. And then on the inside of your garment, you then put the washer and screw it on. So therefore, they do have a notch here for a screwdriver. So if you knew you were going to leave it on there for quite a while, you could do that. So I have one of my capes, and I do have a button. My capes do come with a button. And the great thing about this large stitch is that this button can go anywhere. So there is not a designated buttonhole. As you can see, you could put the button wherever you wanted. So for instance, I've attached one half of the jewel design here, and I've attached the other half here. So I happen to really like things up around my neck, especially when it's minus 16. So there you are. I'll stand up just a little bit so you can see. And again, and the button's still there so you can see. But again, these are fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Now that's way over there. I can move it over here. I mean, and I can put it, so ignore the button. Where's the button? I'm looking at the, so look at that. Oh my gosh. So this is a cape on my store, and it comes, all my capes come with, where's the button? They come with the button, but you can take that off if you don't like it. And these are sold separately, the jewel designs. And I have the dark color. I have this tan color design here. Looks awesome on the white. And then this comes with two closures. So if you had a longer garment, a long cardigan, you could put two closures on too, and I have those also in the tan. But oh my gosh, I just love these. It looks fabulous with the chunky knit. Yeah, so here's my cape. Comes down like that. So there you go. It's a mini fashion show. And again, like I said, this, where is it? This can be moved anywhere. You could put it on the corners and have this just drape across your shoulders. You could have it up tight like this and have the ends come down. Just all kinds of different ways. But these are fabulous. I love these. They're American made, artist designed. So they're fabulous. I'm so glad I found them, and they are amazing for my fat wool. Just adds that other special touch. So there we are. I will have those in my store. Just going to put this on my mannequin so it doesn't fall. All right, so also we'll stick with the yarn for fat wool. I have mentioned in previous podcasts that I have now my own line of regular weight yarn for those of you that would prefer not to wear the super chunky, or you prefer to not buy finished work but make your own. Once in a great while I do have my coarse spun yarn available, but everything that I had went into making product for the Chicago show, so I do not have any currently, but once in a while I do. But what I did decide is that, and I mentioned before, I was really inspired after Geraldine and I were in Scotland for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival last March. Some of the farmers there, shepherds there, were making their own yarn from their single breed of sheep that they had. And I just, well, my goodness sakes, that's what I do. I buy wool from farmers, Michigan farmers, and so I decided to highlight the same thing. And these yarns are not dyed. These are the natural color wool from the animals, and for this batch of yarn this year, all of the wool came from a farm in Bel Air, Michigan. And so this is the worsted weight. We have it in this natural, I'll do it this way. There we go. Natural. Oh, and I do not have any lights going today. This is just the lights in my craft room. But that looks really good. So this is worsted weight. It is 80% merino Corriedale, 10% blueface Leicester, and 10% alpaca. And then I have it in the natural. This would be considered the white fleece. Oops, wrong way. There we go. And so again, these are worsted weights. This is 100% merino Corriedale and Lincoln are the blends in there. And then I have, the fleece is considered black, but it looks, of course, turns out like a espresso, deep espresso color. So this again is not dyed, it's the natural color off the animal. This is the worsted. And this one is 100% merino Corriedale. So, very exciting. I'm thrilled to be offering these. I love the natural colors. These are the worsted. And then I have the exact same colors in heavy worsted. I don't know. Yeah, the gray one came out a little bulkier, so it could be considered a, what is it after worsted? Bulky? Whatever the next one up after worsted is. It's kind of in between worsted. It's kind of in between worsted and bulky, I think. But this is, nope, that way. Okay, so this is the heavy worsted. And it's the same wools. So there we go. The white. And the brown. So heavy worsted Fat Wool Company yarn straight from the farm to your needles or hooks. Let's see. And again, each batch is different depending on the wool. You may or may not know that different breeds grow different fleeces. Well, of course, it's a merino or it's a Corriedale or blue-faced Leicester. However, they don't all feel the same. They're not all the same thickness. They're not all the same softness. They're all different. Even the same animal, I have learned from this shepherd that I visit in Bel Air. The same animal can give you a different fleece year to year. So these are approximately 225 yards and the weights vary. The dark is 170 grams, the gray is 160 grams, and the white is 200 grams. So this one did come out a little thinner. But anyway, so I'm thrilled with that, and I do have a work in progress with the heavy. I am making that sky. I opened a piece of paper and she flew out of here like, I don't know. Mellow Sun by Isabelle Kramer. Oh, it got really dark. So, I am making this. I wound the ball. Oh. Did we stop? My computer screen is frozen. Hey. Oh gosh, all right. I still have a little bit more fat wool, so I think what I'll just do is keep going with Fat Wool Company and then we will move on. But behind me is what was taking up my mornings so that I didn't have a lot of time. We all know, if you're watching this podcast, you are a knitter, crocheter, or maybe you're just a sewer, but mostly it's about knitting, so chances are you're also a yarn enthusiast. If you have yarn, you need a bag to keep it in. Do you not? And so I've been a quilter for 28 years. And I don't have loads and loads of fabric, but I do have my favorites, quite a big stash. And because I'm now knitting all the time, I am not quilting nearly as much as I used to, so I've got a lot of fabric just sitting there. And it's my favorite designers, Anna Maria Horner, I've got some Amy Butler, and Kafe Fassett. So I thought, make some project bags out of my favorite fabric designers and use up my fabric stash. So I can buy more fabric. Yay! Okay, so I have started with, this is called, and these are all individually on Fat Wool Co. website. This is called the Knit Night Clutch. Just ideal for a single skein project. You could get away with the lace weight project. This one has a darling pom-pom on the zipper. Got a nice little hook there to put something on. They are all lined. So this one, yes, so Knit Night Clutch. So there's this one, and a pretty pastel pink. Now, please don't think that they're shaped weirdly. They do have a box pleat, or box bottom, so there you go. Come on, there we go. Isn't that just darling? Love that fabric. Oh, and then one of my favorites is this one. And again, they are all lined also. So there you go, got the pom-pom on the zipper. Come on, focus. Gosh, all right, there we go. I've got the nice picot trim there on the zipper. Ah, I love this. Has to be one of my absolute favorites. So this size is called the Knit Night Clutch. Then I went to this one, and I've shown you, oh, yep, here it is. This bag is, the style is one that I had made for myself before when I said I wasn't selling project bags. But this is the one I use for socks. It is perfect for your sock ruler. This is my own, so this one is not listed in the store. I put a little handy tab there. Opens up nice and wide and flat. I finished my socks, which I'll show you, so that's why they're not in here. You can put your sock ruler in. It fits perfectly. If you're, you can easily have 2 balls of yarn in here. It's long so that you don't have to dig. Everything is right there in viewing. So I decided to call this shape bag the Sloop, after those, gosh, those, I watch a lot of Agatha Christie, and they always seem to have those older sailboats from the 20s and 30s, those long, low sailboaty type boats, and then the bow and the stern kind of go up like this. So, the Sloop. And again, these also have the box pleat bottom, so they will sit nicer than how they look in my hand. This one I put a removable handle on. I decided for the height of the bag this got too long. So on the next bag that I have, I did not have it detachable. It is just a handle. But this is also a Sloop. I love pom-pom and pom-pom trim. So, and then here's the inside. I mean, honestly, this is Anna Marie Horner. Oh, my goodness. So, Fat Wool Company, the Sloop project bag. Oh, should I show you the inside of this one? So it has a lovely pink tangerine to go with the pink on the outside. So, there we go. Then we went up another size. This has canvas, again, box pleat. So they stand up nicely. These have the waxed canvas bottom. And the removable handle works on this one. Again, I did the picot trim here. Boy, it's hard to get that straight. And let's see, oh, the color inside this one. Just a nice green to go. This is called the Essential Clutch. Easily 2 skeins. Would a Find Your Fade shawl fit in here? No. The beginning of your Find Your Fade shawl, a 2 to 3 skein shawl would certainly fit. Hat, socks, couple of hacks, but blah, a couple of hats would definitely fit in this size. So this one is called the Essential Clutch. So then this one has a pom-pom on the zipper. And I'll show you the inside of this one. La! Oh my gosh. I mean, what would not brighten up? Oh, and these have a pocket. You can see there's a pocket, whoop, right here on one side on the inside. So how can these colors not brighten up your winter day? And then this one, lovely red and gray. Oh, showing you the back side. There's my label. Removable handle. And the inside on this one is a gray with a pocket. So this is the Essential Clutch. Fat Wool Company. And then I have shown you this bag before that I made for myself. The handle, or the strap, frayed on the end and came off at a volleyball tournament last weekend, so I still have to fix that. But this heavy canvas, I bought this a while ago not knowing what I was going to do with it. And so I decided, oh my gosh, I've got to make a bag. And this is what I currently have the Isabelle Kramer shawl in. So that was my personal one that I made when I said I was not selling bags. But these are the ones I do have in my store. These are called the Continental. I don't know, they're big. You could travel the continent with it. So here we are. These are large and in charge. You could put 2 heads inside the Continental. Again, the wax canvas box pleat. This one has a cotton handle. It is removable. It cinches. And then this one has this fabulous... Okay. Hey! No! Storm, the Labrador puppy, likes to antagonize Clark, who is not interested in being antagonized. Go! Out! All day, every day. They're like middle schoolers. So again, this one, and these have a small pocket and a larger pocket on the inside. So there's that one, Anna Maria Horner fabric. I'll put that one back there. This one is Amy Butler fabric. Wax canvas. This one, and I'm going to do this for all future because I wasn't happy with handle choices and I didn't want the plasticky, I don't even know what it's called, which comes in a ton of colors, but I hated that plasticky stiff feel for the strap, and so I'm now making my own straps out of the waxed canvas. So, and again, they're detachable. Cinch, and here's the inside. And you can see the pocket inside there. Oh, again, if you're like me and you're having problems this time of year with the grayness, and you know, some years, and I think I've talked about this before in my sun lamp, but some winters it's not a problem at all and I just zip right through winter. Other winters it's hard this time of year, but January does seem to be going by pretty quickly. And this year, it was just like, you just got dumped on with this fog, and I've had my sun lamp out all the time. I've got essential oils going. Well, oh my gosh, just working with fabric like this certainly helps to brighten your day. All right. I've doubled up on the vitamin D, you know, trying all these things just to perk things up, but gosh, it's okay, I'm back. We had someone at the door. So of course it's a 5-alarm fire when there's someone at the door. So here's another one. This is a heavier canvas, Amy Butler, and a long time ago, this was scrap fabric that I had, and a long time ago, oh, and this was supposed to be the front, and I put it on the wrong side, but just beautiful. I had made her pattern called the Weekender bag out of this fabric, which I love using. Here's the inside. Come on, focus on the bag. This one has the canvas strap handle. And here, the last one that I have so far. I guess they're so big I can't even, you know, it could be a, I don't know. Anyway, so again, more Amy Butler fabric, some scrap fabric, canvas bottom. This one has the white cotton strap and then the inside. So again, these are a lot of fun to make. So that's what was keeping me super busy and didn't have time for the fashion show. So gosh, that is everything Fatwell. We can finish talking about that. Let's see. So I am wearing a finished project. This is from the, and I've shown the book many times before, Lotta Jansdotter Everyday Style. This is the Pilvi coat, jacket, coat, Pilvi coat. Robert Kaufman Essex linen with metallic. 3/4 sleeves, which generally I don't like, but I will do that for a jacket. It does have a couple pockets. You know, you don't have rarely have a more critical audience than your own children, and they took one look at it and said it was a lab coat. Which, in all honesty, you know, I see that, and I think that if I maybe iron the pockets a little bit, and it won't be as round, it'll maybe hang more linear. But it's actually it's perfect right now for layering, and well, we'll see. Maybe one day I'll decide I don't like it after all, and I'll make project bags out of the fabric. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. And okay, so let's move, well, finished objects. So let me grab my socks. They are my only finished object as far as knitting. And I showed this to you last time as works in progress. So I finished my socks, and I've already reviewed in a previous podcast how I got the stripes to match, but that worked out really well, and they fit fabulously. I know some of you are looking at that little skinny thing and wondering how in the world that can fit anybody, but I just get that over my heel, and that's my foot. And the length is perfect. Come on. There we go. Yep, nope. The length is perfect. The fit is perfect. The ankle fits like a dream. So this experiment, as opposed to my other one that had the notch hanging out the calf, these work perfectly. So, very excited for that. So that is my only finished knitting project. My work in progress that I am just, other work in progress. So I did have that shawl going, and then, you know, the January funk descended like a lead balloon. So I thought, well, I need to knit with something dreamy and pastel-y and light and pretty and springy. So I am using, and I think I'd shown this to you as a future project, Twisted Owl Fiber Studio out of Longview, Texas. This is her MCN Luxe Sock, 80-10-10 Merino Cashmere Nylon, 600 yards. And what's this color called? Lazer Floyd. So I bought 2 skeins. So this is, oh, I was right the first time. There's her label. So I bought 2 skeins of this, not knowing what I was going to make. I just love the pretty, oh, look at that end right there, the speckles. Just pretty. And I am holding it double with Shibui Silk Cloud in Bone, I believe. I made cakes when I hold yarns double, oh, got a text. When I hold yarns double, I like to put it on this handy little spinner, and you just stack the yarns. Of course, make sure the yarn's coming off them the same way. But you just pull them and that spins, and it's a fabulous way to work with yarn and double. So obviously here's the Shibui silk. Here's the first skein of the yarn. And I am making the summer, Magnolia Summer. By Camilla Vad. She is Danish, I believe, in Copenhagen. And this is where I'm at so far. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Oh, there we go. So you start at the top, work your way down, separate for the sleeves, and I'm now in the pattern work down at the bottom hem. Spread that out without losing my needle here. But it's just lovely, lovely, lovely. What I'm finding is that the Shibui Silk Cloud really softens the colors and the speckles, and because you can see the difference. Where'd my yarn go? Here it is. You can just see how the addition of the, oh, get off my face. No, there we go. The addition of the Silk Cloud just softens the colors and the speckles quite a bit. But I can't wait to wear this. It is moving along quickly. I don't know what else to say about it, but just it's a dream. And I had made that sweater, can't remember the name of it. I'm sure it's over here somewhere, but I've already shown it in the previous podcast where I did the same base, merino cashmere nylon, and it was our own Roberta Ray Fibers, Quiet Riot, held with the Ash Shibui Silk Cloud. And remember, I had run out and couldn't find it anywhere, and just happened to have a brand new skein in my stash that was 12 years old. But I just love that combination, and it is dreamy, and I am looking forward to wearing this even in the wintertime with a white shirt, a white t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. You could do a white turtleneck, and you know, some off-white pants. Or, oh my gosh, just I'm very excited. I love it. Well-written pattern. Caddy. Is this a caddy? Yarn caddy? I don't know. But I use it when I'm holding yarns together. So that's a work in progress. All right. I just spent an hour waiting for my flashcard on my camera to download onto my desktop, because apparently I filled it up in the very short amount of time I've been, relatively, for podcasts. The very short amount of time that I have been recording, I filled up the card somehow, and it took an hour. So here I am an hour later. Apparently it is just impossible for me to be a podcaster and not have some sort of technical difficulty to make it even more fun. Alright, so I checked to see where the last video just ended, and I was showing you my work in progress, so I finished that. No clue. So we will move on. I have a problem. And I had made this wrap, crochet. This was before I was a knitter, for a dear friend out of Noro Silk Garden. And it's lovely, and the reason I have it back is that, and she was very clear to say, her husband's dog got a hold of it, and can I fix it? I don't know. Luckily with crochet, well, my idea is, and I am hoping that this is the finished end, not the beginning end of the project. The idea is that I can take the fringe off, take it back to the beginning of the hole, and just rejoin the yarn where I need to. I'm going to lose a lot of that really pretty bright blue, and then just keep going and redo it. However, I made this so long ago, I have no idea what the pattern is. I have no idea what the crochet hook size is. I have no idea. I have looked through every single one of my crochet books. I have looked at all of my saved crochet links on my devices and my computer. The only thing I can think is that the very first crochet project that I made, and I showed it to you, and at the time I did not know what the pattern was. I couldn't find the pattern. But I have since found the pattern, and it is a crocheted vintage stole. And I've already put a link to it on a previous, but maybe I'll, that is the only thing I think that this possibly could be. So, what I think I will do is that I will start at this end, I will go back to here, and luckily, as I started to say with crochet, there are no picking up of stitches. You just take the yarn out to where you want to start. You're going to have a little loop. You put your crochet hook in, and Bob's your uncle. You keep on going. So I'm going to, it looks really similar to that. I was hoping, I thought for sure this would have been in one of my Noro crochet pattern books, and it is not. I've never made anything with fringe before, but while I was waiting for the hour to finish recording this podcast, I pulled up that stole pattern, and the original pattern does have fringe. I did not put fringe on the white one that I made for myself. So that's my plan, and I will use the crochet hook that the pattern says, because I have absolutely no idea. And if it is obviously not right, then I'm going to take the whole thing out and start over. Just making sure I'm still recording. So, bummer. Don't you just love these colors? I love these colors. I have no idea. It's Noro yarn. I know it's Noro Silk Garden, which is the same one that the brand that I showed you. But I have no idea what the colorway is. I remember it was at a yarn store in Petoskey, Michigan, that has since closed. I bought the last skeins that she had. So there you go. That's my bummer for this podcast. Beautiful, beautiful, but that's the only thing I can come up with, is that it's that vintage stole, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try that, and if it doesn't work, I have no choice but to rip the whole thing out, and there's another text. Rip the whole thing out and start over, and I'll use that stole pattern and just make it. So